guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. My name is Aubrey and this is my astrological outlook for the day. And what a day it is. So there are some very serious aspects in effect today, and I mean that in every sense of the word. Today is our once yearly conjunction of the sun and the black moon. The sun is at 23 degrees of Taurus today. That Sabian symbol or energetic frequency, the visual depiction of it that we can use to help inform our human senses in terms of interpreting the nature of the energetic. That's what Sabian symbols are. And the Sabian symbol, and there's one for every single one of the degrees of the zodiac. It tells the story of life, basically in energetic form as it unfolds through time and space. But back to the Sabian symbol of the sun today. It is at 23 degrees of Taurus, a jewelry shop filled with precious gems. And we know, if you watched my new moon report yesterday or my report on Friday, the black moon has recently moved to 23 degrees of Taurus as well, a jewelry shop filled with precious gems. So we have that going on in an effect today. And like I said, this only happens once a year, and today's the day. And that means that truly with this energetic, we have a fusion and a merging of the life force energy with the shadow side. It's like there is tremendous manifesting power and potential with this aspect today, but we want to be doing it consciously. With a black moon sun conjunction, that is an intertwining and an interweaving of the force that makes us grow and thrive in life with the unconscious, subconscious undertones and urges that sort of drive our behavior based on subconscious programming that is set in place. And with the sun, which makes everything grow and bloom and it vitalizes. It's the energizing life force in all of us. And with it in a conjunction today with the black moon, it means that whatever is going on a subconscious level, individually and collectively, is growing today and being infused with the life force energy of the sun. And at 23 degrees of Taurus, we know that it's a jewelry shop filled with precious gems. That's the nature of our subconscious mind and our true internal state as humans. We have all of this divine and precious energy within us waiting to come out and manifest our reality. And what will the nature of that be? Will it be what we fear? Will it be the Taurus themed shadow side fears of loss and lack of comfort, not having enough, not being enough, not feeling valued, not being in fear surrounding resources and money and relationships and self-worth? Is that what we're going to fill with life force energy and grow under this transit today? Or are we going to be the dove as we've been being called to through the symbolism that was in effect yesterday for the new moon, a white dove over troubled water, the degree of the new moon, and where we're going all month long, and where the black moon has been the past few weeks, asking us to rise above and to clear our subconscious minds of fear, worry, regret, grief, hatred, sadness, resentment, betrayal, all of that, and forgive so that we can release, fly above, and align with the symbolism associated with the dove. Forgiveness, surrender, peace, faith, trust in a higher power, and love and joy. That's where we need to be and where we want to be moving through this cycle. So with the sun conjuncting the black moon today, this is going to bring a lot of fears, specifically regarding the themes of loss, of those Taurus themed issues, like I just said, relationships, value, what we value, comfort, security, etc., to the forefront for us to see. The black moon and the sun full light of the sun shining on those shadow side issues, bringing them up to the forefront, giving them prominence. How's it going to go? What are we going to create with this? What are we going to grow when the light of the sun shines on our subconscious mind? And the black moon is telling us at this degree, and the sun, that we are filled with precious treasures. And let's consciously create and bring those out with this transit instead of manifesting and growing the fears, the shadow side issues, and the issues around loss and resources, relationships, love, money, all of those things. So that's something that we have big in effect today. In the black moon and the sun, that can bring a lot of fears up for people. And this is happening collectively because this is the transit that's in effect for all of us today. So just something to keep in mind as we're going through this. If you do encounter scenarios today that really trigger those deep internal fears, what we need to do is not be pulled into the fear. We need to realize, okay, this is something that is making me feel like insecure. I need to let it go and to surrender to having faith in the higher power that we're going to get through this. We're going to be just fine. And I need to use my conscious mind to create and envision a reality where those fears are not relevant and no longer exist. And that's how we transcend through the black moon issues in this time, in this day that may bring a lot of really uncomfortable insecurities and fears to the forefront with a huge light, the sun, shone on them. So just know this is our once a year with that. This is what's going on. And we'll get through it. But this is the day where we're really being shown our shadow sides. We're really all experiencing them. And it's makes a lot of sense in retrospect, and it will as this month unfolds, why that white dove symbolism. If you didn't watch my new moon video for the new moon in Taurus, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But for the new moon in Taurus, the sun and the moon were conjunct at 22 degrees of Taurus. That was yesterday, which is a white dove over troubled water. So this whole month, the answer to any of the struggles that we're experiencing on the ground in our life is to rise above, and to do that by symbolically aligning our hearts and our souls and our psyches and our consciousness and our subconsciousness with the symbolic qualities and nature of the white dove. There's so much information on what the white dove symbolizes. If you look that up and you really focus on that and make it sort of like a study and incorporate it into your being, that will be tremendously helpful as we move through the challenges this next few weeks and throughout the course of this year. The earth today, speaking of, grounding in the reality of metamorphosizing to that next level on a conscious level, the subconscious, releasing it and transcending up to the higher frequencies associated with the dove. We have the earth today helping us out with that. The earth is a rabbit metamorphosized into a fairy, specifically talking about taking something off the ground and metamorphosizing it into something that can fly away, and in a pretty magical way. And this whole month, we do have a lot of divine assistance and a lot of ability to tap into our higher self and our intuition to guide us through this process. And especially be very on the lookout this month as well for messages and information that happen to come your way or cross your path that, they might seem totally random, but we're getting really, really important messages in a multitude of forms throughout the course of this month. So something to be aware of as well. But again, with the earth at this degree today, metamorphosis and transcending, rising above and into the air through ideas. The air represents ideas. And this is a very, very, very idea-oriented next few weeks and next few days. And the things that we're learning, the information that we're receiving is going to do a lot to help us with this process in terms of changing perspectives and changing attitudes that helps to align us more with what's authentic to us and where we need to go and go through that release and transcendence process. So it's all happening as a part of the experiences that we're going through, but this is just kind of like a roadmap and how the blueprint's unfolding. Next, today, we have back to this whole emphasis on ideas and information. We have the moon moving into Gemini, and there is a lot going on in Gemini right now. Mercury is in Gemini, and Venus, who's the ruler of this cycle that we're in, this Taurus new moon cycle, is also in Gemini, working towards what Mercury is doing, who recently conjuncted the North Node, our destiny point, and is moving through his own sign. Very powerful. And today, as I said, we do have the moon moving into Gemini. So that's really going to trigger, because the moon is like an emotional trigger for things that makes things happen. And so this is really going to trigger all of that emotional energy, or not emotional, all of that like intellectual ideas, thoughts, mind energy that we have going on. The moon is going to bring us a lot of energy today, or a lot of information and messages and communication today with this, and it's going to be of a radical nature. We're probably going to hear some really off the wall things or see some quite bizarre or radical headlines today, and that's because Venus is at 5 degrees of Gemini, which is that degree a radical magazine cover. So, and this, remember, is Venus's cycle. We're in the Taurus cycle, so what Venus is doing is significant. And Venus is at 5 degrees of Gemini, a radical magazine cover. Speaking of a radical headlines, like very, bizarre or unexpected or just kind of like out there information coming to us. And also, there's going to be a very serious tone, and this goes back again to the serious nature of everything that's going on today with the sun conjunct the black moon. That's a serious, heavy vibe in and of itself. But we also have Mercury today, ruler of Gemini, in an exact trine to Saturn in Aquarius. 14 degrees of Gemini, where Mercury is, 14 degrees of Aquarius, where Saturn is. And when Mercury and Gemini come into a trine, this is always like serious thinking and important concerns that we have. And it's a really good time when our mind is working to organize and plan and prepare, and we don't want distractions, and we're getting really serious on a mental level when we have Saturn and trine to Mercury. So we have these shadow side issues surfacing today, really coming to the forefront. And then simultaneously, we also have a very, very serious thought processes going on. A lot of attention to detail. So yeah, this is just generally a much more serious day. And we're really taking things seriously. Whatever is transpiring in our lives or collectively, or whatever is being triggered through this black moon sun conjunction today, we're really taking it seriously. We're not messing around. We don't really want to be distracted. And again, the Mercury Saturn trine, that's just also more of a heavy vibe mentally. So if you're feeling really kind of heavy and more pessimistic about things today, having a hard time just being more like lighthearted and hopeful and optimistic, don't get down on yourself. There are a lot of very heavy energetics in play today, and it's because we are going through this metamorphosis process. We're all being called to look inside in our jewelry shop at our precious gems, reassess what's going on in there, and realign with our authenticity. Remember, we still have that Uranus in Taurus, and he's being aspected today also by Mars, which I'll talk about in a minute. But generally, there is just a more serious tone to things today. This is emphasized by the moon's entrance into Gemini, working towards Mercury, and Venus, ruler of this Taurus cycle that we're in Gemini, working towards Mercury. Again, whatever those bold or radical news, headlines, information that we hear today that possibly might trigger fears, shadow side issues regarding resources or security, money, relationships, partnerships, self-worth, all of that can cause us to be thinking about things very seriously today and critically, and just not wanting to be distracted by much other than problem solving and trying to figure out, solutions to things. This is a good day though for, like I said, planning, preparing, attention to details, organization, great days for that with Mercury and Saturn in trine. The last thing I want to talk about today is that we still have, as we did yesterday for the new moon, we still have Mars in exact sextile to Uranus. This is Mars at 12 degrees of Cancer, Uranus at 12 degrees of Taurus. And again, this is just dynamic energy. Mars is energy, passion, like the igniting things, the fuel. And Uranus is combustion. It makes things explode. It's shocks, surprises, things happening out of nowhere. But remember, it's always to put things right, because that's what Uranus does. So this is like dynamic energy and reactions to things, like quick responses to things, impatience and impulsiveness. Also more of a desire to take risks and just generally to break free and lead the way doing so. Mars, the pioneer, and Uranus, the revolutionary, those two working together. This is also breakthroughs in terms of consciousness with all that Gemini going on. And Uranus is the awakening planet. This is like the spiritual warrior awakening as well with this. So there's a lot of fight in us for truth and authenticity with this aspect. And also because it's in Cancer and Taurus, those are the signs that we're working with here. This can have to do with how we provide for or care for ourselves and our families, and also what we depend on receiving for our comfort and security. So those are the themes at play, but this is the spiritual revolution type of energy with the spiritual warrior activated and awakened archetypes in play with this. Also with this, and I didn't mention this in my report yesterday because I didn't want to make it too long and muddle it up with too many aspects going on, but we also have Mars in a square to Chiron, and I want to mention that today. Mars is at 12 degrees of Cancer and Chiron is at 12 degrees of Aries. And this can go a couple of ways. Chiron rules money and wealth, and a lot of times when Chiron is activated, we look at financial markets and things that are happening with economies and stuff like that. And so this can be manifested as some type of upset in financial markets as Chiron rules money. What, babe? Okay, here. This can manifest as an upset in financial markets as Chiron rules money, like I said, or also like anger, frustration, or passion around things having to do with money, conflicts or fights or aggression over money. So if you do in your life or on like the world stage or anything, notice any type of conflicts going on in regards to money, power struggles, battles over money, resources, wealth, and value, it is most likely a manifestation of this Mars in square to Chiron. Also, Chiron dominant people who have and carry a lot of the Chiron archetype in their own energy field, you guys should not engage in conflict today if possible. You might experience and encounter a lot of aggression just in your daily life today because of the square with Mars. And just maybe try your best to abstain from involving yourself in that, but also realize that conflicts that do occur or take place or that you experience in your life are ultimately for healing and growth, because that's what Chiron does. Chiron's the wounded healer. We experience wounding so that we can learn how to heal, so that we can master ourselves and our experience and our reality, and then we can teach other people how to do the same thing. That's what the Chiron master archetype ultimately wants to do. And with the square, with the conflict with Mars, with the square with Mars today, generally there could just be conflicts around those Chiron themes. Healing, teaching, wealth, money, wounding as well with Mars, battles, conflicts, aggression. So that's what I have for today, you guys. It is a very heavy, kind of maybe a little overwhelming day with our yearly sun conjunct the black moon, while we have Mercury in trine to Saturn. We're taking things seriously. Let's take seriously our the healing of our subconscious and our shadow sides, and the aligning of our subconscious and our conscious minds, refusing them into one so that we can become the masters and the creators of our own realities in this paradigm where our thoughts and our subconscious thoughts really are the architects behind the experiences and the circumstances that we have in our lives. So I hope you guys enjoyed my report for today. We're going to get through it. This is just a part of the process, and we have that Chiron in Mars going on, pushing us to heal, creating conflicts and traumas and issues that are activating those shadow side issues so that we can evolve and heal and grow out of them, because that's the only way that this is done. It's what we have to do. We have to become the white dove. That's what it just keeps coming back to. So I will see you guys tomorrow. If you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. Share it with your friends if you think that they would like it. Subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. And also, if you might want to ring the bell on the YouTube subscription thing if you want to get notified when my new videos are uploaded. I will see you guys back tomorrow, and I wish everyone a beautiful day. Bye, guys.